Hi, I'm Sigler. This is one of the projects we've been doing, using on social media with the teachers having their laptops and the students having laptops. We want to make sure everybody's straight on social media use in the classroom. So, I'll say this about Facebook. Most of our students have Facebook pages, so we need to know how to communicate with them and how to relay information to them with Facebook and when not to and all that. So that's what we're going to cover. Social media is defined by a lot of things we see, Facebook, YouTube, all that. The basics we'll kind of cover today. Notice, especially as teachers, it's very important when we post things, and we'll talk about friends and all that with students, but when we post things, it's very easy for something to go viral because they can be shared, they can be screenshot, they can be copied, they can be sent out. And looking here, you can see somebody does something, but people can send that out, and by the time you know it, it's everywhere. And so we want to make sure that the postings that we make, don't make the school look bad, make yourself look professional, make yourself look good. Make sure that if you have a personal page, make sure your filters are private so that students and parents can't go snooping on you and getting all this information on things that you do. Don't give out personal information on there. Why should we use social media? Social media is a good thing to use. It's really good for getting your message out, especially to students. And technology evolves all the time. A lot of times today, a lot of teachers use remind text messages. Some teachers use Facebook, they use emails to communicate. So it is good for some communication, getting out messages, getting in touch with parents. All these are good. As far as Facebook, this can be good and bad. When you use Facebook, you want to make sure that you're professional in your Facebook use. You don't want to have it to where students can use it to make you look bad, use it to insult others, things like that. This is really good, especially if you're going to do like professional development with your teachers. Like if you're in an administrative role, it's good for getting messages out to teachers for professional development, maybe board meetings, maybe any kinds of meetings, sick leave needs. So it does have some utility in what we do. Pictures are good too. You don't get this as much on a secondary level. I know that in some elementary levels, teachers like to post pictures of the children, of the students, and parents like to see those. In the high school, we don't use that as much with our classes, but sometimes we have uses for that. Maybe if we have a pep rally, or maybe if we have a football game or something like that, the school can use that. But anytime you put a picture on there, you want to make sure that the picture is putting a positive message of your school out, and nothing that can be construed as negative. And here's some pictures from a rally that some teachers attended a few years ago at the State House in Montgomery. And things you got to keep in mind, make sure, if you're going to send messages out there, make sure you solely don't use social media. Make sure that you have phone numbers you can call. Make sure that you have other contacts for those parents. Cell phone numbers, if you're going to use a cell phone, if you're going to call a parent's cell phone, make sure you give them a school phone. Don't ever give them your number unless you want them to constantly contact you on that cell phone. And we do have to say there are situations where teachers misuse social media. We've seen a lot of cases with that. It's happening all the time where teachers have misused social media. They've misused Facebook. They've sexted students with phones, and so we want to make sure when you do post on Facebook, you don't post things like "I hate my students" or "I hate my job" or insulting your students or anything like that, because it's a bad reflection of yourself and it's a negative reflection of the school as well. And I would highly recommend do not friend your students on Facebook, because that can lead to all kinds of problems. Also, kind of watch your phone. If you leave your phone on your desk, don't stay logged in on your stuff, because if you do, students can get that. If you make postings from that, post your pictures. It's definitely something we want to avoid. See, I think that's the gist of what we need to know. So, if you might have any questions regarding any social media use.
So can you limit the way that students respond if you're doing a class Facebook page? Can you limit student responses? Is there a way to do that?
I believe there's settings on there where you can disable postings or disable comments. And if there's not, we're gonna have to check that, if there's not, just have to go delete it. So, but then again, if you've got, you know, it depends on the kids. Most kids, if they're in that kind of environment, are gonna make intelligent posts. They're not gonna do things that can be misconstrued as negative.
What are the benefits of using social media, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter? What are the benefits of using that over an LMS, learning management system like Edmodo, Google Classroom?
There's really not a lot of difference. Edmodo is geared more towards the learning, like, you know, assignments, tests, things like that. The thing about this is the positives to a social media platform is more people use it. More parents are going to want to check it. More parents are going to, they'd rather check Facebook than Edmodo. They'd rather check Twitter than Google Classroom. So your message will probably get out better with a Facebook or a Twitter, but when it's contained in a learning management system, it's a lot less likely to be misconstrued as something that can come back and reflect negatively on the teacher. Any other questions?
Would a remind group message be considered social media use?
It would, and as long, and a remind text message that goes out to everybody that's on your group in that text message, as long as you're following the rules we talked about, it should be good. As long as your remind messages are professional, then you should have that.
As far as posting pictures of kids, what are the legal ramifications of that?
Make sure that if you're going to post pictures of students, that you have a signed media release or signed consent form giving you permission to do that for every kid. If you're doing backs of the heads, that's not a problem, but if you're doing face, you can recognize who they are, you definitely need a media release, or that could be subject to legal ramifications. So, anything else? All right. This concludes the social media presentation.